Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an article titled A Message to Young Women from a Career Woman. And guys, this article is about a conversation that went on a national radio show where a woman called in to the male host and pretty much got into the conversation discussing the feminist movement and how those ideals and the impact it's had on women. And she uses herself as an example to show that even though there was a time and place that she thought these feminist ideals, and when I say feminist, for those of you who are new, I mean feminist, I gotta speak in code here, that those ideals of encouraging women to be the strong, independent women, that they don't need a man, can do anything a man can do and more, embrace your career, embrace your studies, multiple college degrees, all that type of stuff, and forget men, forget family, all that. Well, guess what? It has left her alone and miserable. 50 years old, nothing but regret about not having a guy in her life, not having children, a family, not having someone to go out to dinner with, go on vacations with, someone to be there for her, to take her in the future when she gets older to medical appointments and just things like that. She missed out, and she's deeply regretting it, and she's warning young women, don't make the mistakes I did. Now, here's the deal. Now, let me backtrack a little bit. Not so much the mistakes I did, because here's the deal. This video is going to cover a few things. Number one, her obviously being unhappy and showing, guess what, the feminist movement and these ideals, it's not what it's cracked up to be. And you're going to see that quite clearly. Number two, even though she feels this way, do you think she's going to take ownership of her mistakes? No. No accountability. And you're going to see what I'm talking about here. She'll blame her mother. She'll talk about how she has an feminist. It's the coffee I just drank is drying out my throat. She talks about her feminist mother who hammered all these things into her growing up. So therefore, this is how she acted in her adult life, and pretty much is blaming her mom for all of her unhappiness. Not once saying, you know what, I was an adult, and even though I was programmed to be a certain way, still as an adult, I made the choice to do these things. No. She blames her mom. Typical situation of women with lack of accountability and blaming everybody else but themselves for their own mistakes. We all know about that. And the last thing I want to cover in this video, and we'll come to it, is this, guys, is that no matter where you are in life, if you are unhappy, you and only you have the power to change it. And you're going to see through this whole thing that she's unhappy as hell and all that, but she's not taking any action to change herself. Okay, and she's going to moan and groan and complain about it, which a lot of people do in life. Okay, and I'm going to get more into that as I go on here. So, but anyhow, starting off, it says every Wednesday, the second hour of my national radio show is the male/female hour. A few weeks ago, a woman named Jennifer called in. For reasons of space, I've somewhat shortened her comments. Every young woman should read them. This is precisely what she said. This is her calling in. She says, Dennis, I want to get right to it. I'm 50 years old with 4 college degrees. I joke about all the time about women and all their degrees. You know, really just being overachievers nowadays. 4 college degrees. What the hell does she need with 4 college degrees? You want to talk about an overachiever. But again, where does that come from, right? What does she pay for these 4 college degrees? Have these 4 college degrees in any way, shape, or form brought her enough money to justify the cost of getting those degrees, the time spent, etc., etc.? And what are these degrees in? I'd like to know. She says, I was raised by an feminist mother with no father in the home. Ding, ding, ding. My mother told me to get an education to the maximum level so that you can get out in the world and make a lot of money. And that's the path I followed. I make adequate money. I don't make a ton of money, but I do make enough to support my own household. So this idea here, and I just got to point this out, this 4 degrees so she can make a lot of money. But she says here, I make adequate money, which means basically probably a little bit above average. All it takes is 1 degree in something that has a great demand for, and you're just simply ambitious and work hard at it and work smart, and you can bring in a lot of money. But not 4 degrees. But notice her mother's pushing her, get an education, go make a lot of money, be a career woman, not have a husband, have a family, all that. Nope. She says, I want to tell women in their 20s, do not follow the path that I followed. Right there. She She's 50 years old. She is 7 years older than me, unhappy, alone. Don't follow the path that I did. And yet, more than ever, compared to when she was younger, it is being hammered into young women to do exactly what she is telling them don't do. She says, you are leading yourself to a life of loneliness. All your friends will be getting married and having children, and you're working to compete in the world. And what you're doing is competing with men. Men don't like competitors. Men want a partner. It took me until my late 40s to realize this. It's not that hard to figure out, lady. Come on here, but you were programmed to be this way. I will say that early on, but you then made the adult choices in your life to then continue on with this mindset. Where's it gotten you? Alone. Guys, I'm 43. I've mentioned this many times before, and I know a lot of women. 30s, 40s, they do well for themselves. They obviously have multiple degrees or advanced degrees, make really good money and all that. And guess what? Is there a guy in their life? Nope. And there certainly isn't any children. And already, especially the ones in their 40s, they're not happy. I've known some to definitely cry about it, get upset. I have friends that I get together with for parties and gatherings a couple times a year, and they have friends that come over, and you become acquainted over the years because you always see the same faces at different barbecues and parties and all that. Same old story. People talk. And these gals do well for themselves. They're alone. And a lot of them are going down the path of using medical science to basically have artificial insemination, have kids. I know a couple right now that are trying to do it. And they are definitely unhappy, unfulfilled, missing something in their lives because they went through this whole bullshit dogma of the feminist movement to go down this path. Goes on, and by the time you have your own household with your own bills, you can't get off that track because now you got to make the money to pay your bills. It's hard to find a partner in your late 40s to date because you also start losing self-confidence about your looks and your body. Your self-confidence doesn't mean crap, okay? What's important is actually your looks and your body. And yes, that's the issue there. Dry throat, guys. That is the issue there. You can have women in their 40s that look darn good for their 40s, but they're not anywhere come close to what they were in their 20s and late teens when a woman's prime is, okay? Your confidence doesn't mean shit, but actions can be taken. Keep yourself thin, going to the gym, eating well, using good creams for your skin to keep minimize the wrinkles, keep your hair long, take care of it, nails, makeup, dress well. You can get guys. Her problem is that she's been just raised to be a ball-busting you-know-what and a strong, independent woman. She's probably turned off guys left and right. Is it possible for her to turn things around? Of course. She's 50. I'm not saying she's going to have lines of guys after her, but there's going to be guys in their 50s or maybe guys in their 60s that if she was remotely decent looking and took care of herself, actually had a decent personality, good luck here with her feminist programming. If she really wanted to make a change, she could have something, but it's easier just to moan and groan and do nothing. She says it's not the same as it was in your 20s. You tried to do what you can to make your life fulfilling. I have cats and dogs, but it's lonely when you see your friends having children, going on vacations, planning the lives of their children, and you don't do anything at night but come home to your cats and dogs. I don't want other women to do what I have done. Your life is not over, lady. You can make a change. It may be difficult, but you can make a change. Just like anybody else watching this show right now that has something in their life they're not happy about, and they feel like, well, it's too late for me, I'm 45 or I'm 50. No. You can make changes. You can get a better job. You can change your careers. You can lose 100 pounds. You can you can find a way to save money and start building wealth. Things can be done, but you have to make it happen. And the first thing you can do is accept that you messed things up, not blame other people, like in her case, her feminist mom, and start making a game plan to do it, whatever the hell it is. She says, this is the radio host, I asked, was it hard for you to make this call? She responded, it was. I want to be anonymous because I don't want people that I know to really know my true feelings, because you do act like my career is everything. I love working, but it's a lie in the inside for me. It's unfortunate. I didn't realize this until it's too late. I don't know if it's too late. I would like to find somebody to go on vacation with. So in other words, she doesn't want to actually admit to anybody that she actually, this whole strong, independent woman thing and my career is everything, blah, blah, is actually not how she really feels, because that would mean that she was wrong. Okay? How many times do women actually want to admit that they were wrong, right? I mean, let's be honest. And you guys have been dated enough women, been enough of relationships, you know what I'm talking about here. Good luck getting them trying to admit, okay, I was wrong. And if they do, they get really pissed off about it, fold their arms, stomp their feet, and look pissed off. Or we'll find some excuse to kind of twist it around that, yeah, I was wrong, but it was somebody else's fault that I was wrong, or something like that. She says, you have other concerns when you get older and you live alone. Who's going to take you to your medical appointments? It's something that should happen to you. There's no other income there to help you. Oh, if something should happen to you, there's no other income to help you. These are things you don't understand when you're in your 20s because you don't think you'll ever get old and have health problems. Yeah, a lot of people think that. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I really work hard to take care of myself. I'm at the gym at least bare minimum 4 days a week, cardio and lifting, sometimes 6. I eat very well. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I hardly ever drink. You know, I mean, I do this, but still, it really has dawned upon me like, shit, I'm going to be not 70. I'm going to be 50 in 6.5 years, give or take. You know, and things are starting to happen to people in their 40s. So I'm now looking at things differently. Even though I work very hard and almost my entire adult life, I've been very dedicated to being healthy. So for her, who's 50, and I have no idea what her health is like, it's a concern. She says, I'm stuck now because I go to work every day. I smile like I love it, but it's very painful to not plan a vacation with someone. It's painful not to have a Thanksgiving dinner with someone. You sit at home alone and you do nothing. I avoid my friends now that have children because I have nothing in common with them. Oh, boo-hoo. Stop the waterworks. Take some action. You can turn your life around and be better. Just stop complaining, okay? You're an adult. You're 50 years old. And again, she's going to blame her mom more. Her mom's effing this program. But at the end of the day, she was a grown-ass woman that made these choices, did them regardless of her programming from her effing this mother. And you make your bed, you lay in it, okay? This is what you have. Because believe me, many of you guys out there know women just like her and probably were definitely drinking the pink Kool-Aid of the effing movement and had that attitude and definitely pushed a lot of people away. And they're alone. Do you feel bad for them? Hell no. I don't feel bad for her. She's an adult. But again, so many people, not just effinists, they always want to blame everybody else for their mistakes. They never want to take ownership of them, okay? She wants to improve her life. She wants to get things better. The first thing she's got to do is admit, I made these choices. I effed up. I am the only one that can turn things around. Stop just moan and groan and woe is me, because a lot of people do that. If you notice that, people aren't happy with things in their lives, their job, their bodies, their relationships. They'll moan and groan and sing the blues, but then they won't do anything about it. So I don't feel bad for her, but I'm just covering this to show you, guess what? Someone's actually admitting that the effeminist movement isn't exactly what's cracked up to be, and it's full of crap. She says, somebody asked me the other day, why did you stay single and never had kids? There's answers, because I was brainwashed by my mother into this. See? Blaming her mom. Yes, it is hard to get past childhood programming and upbringing and things like that, but the fact that she's aware of this, that's the first major step. No, the first step, it can be debatable. First step is acknowledging she was brainwashed. Second step is taking ownership that I still chose to live in a certain way has brought me nothing but misery. But it's hard and shameful to tell people, I don't know, I ran out of time. No, you turn people away. There's not a good answer for it except I was programmed to get into the workforce, compete with men, and make money. Back to blaming her mom again. You were an adult. You made those decisions. Stop blaming your mom. Supposedly, that would be a fulfilling life. But I was told that by a feminist mother who was divorced, who hated her husband, my father. Oh, imagine that. Her mom's an effeminist, divorced, and hated her husband, the girl's father. So I'm going to program you. I'm going to make you just like me, because guess what? Misery loves company. And some people might say, well, that's awful. Why would a parent do that? Why would a parent raise the kid in a way, boy or girl, to be like them and not actually have happiness? Again, this happens all the time with families. I'm not saying all families, but a lot of times the parents are jealous of the kids. They don't want them to do better than them. I'm sure you guys watching this right now, this has happened to some of you, or you've known this to happen to somebody. I do. She tried to steer me on what she thought was the right path, but feminism is a lie. I'm going to repeat that again. She tried to steer me on what she thought was the right path, but feminism, I'm going to say it, is a lie. It is a lie. That's what I want women to know. And there you go. And believe me, Mom didn't try to steer her on what was the right path. Mom was pissed off, bitter, and she wanted to get revenge on men, and that was really what it was about. She says, I didn't realize this until late in life. I want to tell women, find someone in your 20s. Ding, ding, ding. That's when you're still very cute. That's when you're still amiable to working out problems with someone. It's harder in your 50s, when you lived alone, to compromise with someone, to have someone in your home, and every little thing about them annoys you because you're so used to being alone. Right. You get a gal that spent her whole life alone, living alone, handling everything. She becomes a control freak. Her way or the highway, that is it. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with someone like that. And I know people like that. I know women that are like that. And it's like, good luck them getting a guy. And the thing is, some of these women I know that are like this, they're attractive women for their age. But the second a guy starts dating him and starts seeing these things, the guy's like, see ya. And these are the same women, by the way, they'll bitch and complain about the guy getting involved with younger women. She finished up saying, I said, I'm thinking of transcribing. Oh, this is the guy. He said, I'm thinking of transcribing your call and making a call. Do that, Dennis. She said, I want to help whoever I can, she said. So there you go, guys. Right then and there, this woman, 50 years old, has been doing this whole FNS thing since obviously her adult life began 18 years old, and it's brought her nothing but misery. And yet nowadays, more than ever, everywhere you go, TV, movies, radio, media, you name it, they're trying to promote this idea. So you're going to have all these women now in their 20s and 30s, and the mother load is like right now, and especially in their 30s and 20s, wait in about 15, 20 years. You're going to see these things left and right. But in the meantime, the same shit's going to be shoveled and tried to be impressed upon more and more people. But it is what it is. And a lot of us are just going to sit back and laugh our asses off and say, we told you so. I'm going to be in my mid-60s, probably close to legal retirement age, and be like, see? Remember all those videos I did to the people who didn't like me? Remember all those videos I did? I was right. Look what it cost. But anyhow, guys, I thought that's it for today. I thought you guys would like that. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.